Today I'm going to be demoing my CS/EE 120B final project. What I made was a monophonic synthesizer. So to start off, I'll show you guys the data path of how everything works. So what I have right here is a MIDI input jack, and basically any instrument that has a MIDI output can send signals to here. And what will happen is it'll go through this input circuit. It consists of octocoupler, some resistors, and a diode, and it'll send it to this Arduino. And what this Arduino is only supposed to do is decode that MIDI signal, because MIDI is a protocol, right? And it has certain codes and stuff for certain events that happen. For example, if you press a note on, it'll send us a certain code to this Arduino, and if you press a note off, it'll send a code that's specific to note off to this code. But basically, all the Arduino does is it uses a MIDI library to decode the signals that are being sent to it. To continue, it uses USART to then send that decoded signal to this Amiga 1284. What this 1284 does is it controls the menu navigation system up here, and it also sends data packets to this data processor. So first I'll start with this menu system. So the menu system consists of an oscillator, and a filter, and an amplifier. The amplifier is to be implemented. It's not currently functioning right now, but the filter and oscillator are. So to navigate through it, we have this button right here, and if you press it, you go into the menu system, and it basically shows you the parameters under that certain menu. So for the oscillator, we have a choice of 3 different waveforms, so we can make a saw wave, a square wave, or a sine wave. Go back by pressing the button again, go back to the main menu. We can go to the filter, press the button. We can control the amount, so let's say, I don't know, 3, 6, and we can control the resonance. I will say that this filter acts more like a high pass filter, although it was intended to be a low pass filter initially. And we also have the final parameter, which is amplifier. It's currently not working right now, but I can show you guys what the menu system would look like if it is working. So yeah, we have our attack, decay, sustain, release. Go back to go up. So yeah, basically how this works is when an on signal is sent, and this recognizes it as on signal, it will send all the information from the menu, so the filter parameters and the oscillator parameters, and it will send it through this white cable via USART to this Amiga, along with the frequency, of course, that's sent by the Arduino. And basically what this chip does, it's Amiga 1284, is based on the data packet that's sent into it, consists of 64 bits, I believe. It'll generate a wavetable at that specific frequency based on these parameters, and send it out through ports C and B, and send it to a digital to analog converter. I use a R2R ladder, which is then sent to this potentiometer for volume control, and out to this output jack, 1/4 inch TRS. So I'll give you guys a little demo right now. So I have some pre-programmed MIDI clips in here. I use Ableton as, or I should say, for generating the MIDI clips. So I'll hit play. You control the volume here. So let's start with this amplifier, filter, so we could do real-time parameter changing. You'll notice that the filter, as I increase it, the lows start to fade out, and eventually the highs do also. But if we bring it all the way back down, the lows start to seep in again. Resonance acts as somewhat of a high booster, and you'll notice that the parameters don't always increment one at a time. Basically, the way I implement this, hold on, sorry, let me turn this off. Basically, the way it works is every time you go into a system, a menu system, you don't want all the parameters to go to the current knob states, right? So what I do is basically the parameters won't actually update to the knobs values until you turn them, which is a pretty cool feature, I think. Yeah, so that way you can go into other submenus and modify their parameters without actually modifying other menus parameters. See, so even though I changed it to a saw wave, which is about, I don't know, 50%, or sorry, square wave, which is about 50% of this knob, if you go back to the filter menu, it's still at 17, which is somewhere around here. But if we move it just a little bit, if we want to change the amount, it'll go back to the actual value. So let me bring it back down to 3, because that's pretty much a clean frequency. Okay. So let me demo to you guys another MIDI clip I have. Here we go. Sorry. Okay, I'll hit play. So let me go ahead and modify the oscillator. So it's a square wave. Yeah, and you notice each wave has their own, I don't know how to describe it, but like characteristic to it. But yeah, so let me continue with this. So yeah, there's another MIDI clip, and then I'll play one more MIDI clip. So here we go. Sorry, let me play it at the correct tempo. I have this handling all the tempo and the sending MIDI notes. So here we go. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.